Hi, I'm student meteorologist Robert Zott, and this is your Monday edition of FSU Weather. Right now you can see a beautiful sunset right now behind Doak Campbell Stadium, always the most beautiful stadium in the world. Currently 65 degrees and partly cloudy, winds coming from the north at about 3 miles per hour coming into the Tallahassee area. Satellite and radar, it's pretty calm for us right now. You can see over the entire southeast region, not a lot to look at for us. A few clouds maybe over the Gulf and maybe some over the Atlantic, but no major storm activity, of course. Miami's got to ruin it just a little bit, have a few little storms down there. Looking at tonight's conditions, it is 49 degrees and clear. Wind coming from the east also at about 33 miles per hour or so. And looking at tomorrow's conditions, it's going to be nice again, 74, not a cloud in the sky, clear and east at 3 miles per hour. And tonight's headlines, one last warm-up before the end of the season, rain chances coming, and the tropics are quiet once for 2020. I know it's a little bit surprising, but all this and more on tonight's edition of FSU Weather.
All right, good evening, Tallahassee. My name is student meteorologist Mary Noonan, and we're still looking at this beautiful sunset over Doak Campbell Stadium. All right, and the current temperatures are going to be 65 degrees, partly cloudy with a light wind coming from the north at 3 miles per hour. As we zoom out and look at the Big Bend area, we see absolutely nothing on the radar. Beautiful clear skies, no clouds at all. As we zoom out and look at the entirety of Florida, we see, again, clear skies, not much in the sky, maybe a little bit over on the East Coast, but nothing more than that. All right, as we zoom in to the Big Bend area once again, in Tallahassee, we have current temperatures at about 65 degrees, and up in Quincy, we have them at 57 degrees. The dew points are going to be around 46 in Tallahassee, and down in Apalachicola, 49, and in Quincy, 50. Continuing to look at the heat index, Tallahassee is going to be right around 65 degrees, Quincy at 57, and Apalachicola down at 64. Once again, looking at the next 24 hours ahead of us, we're going to see bands of clouds coming up from the east, just partially cloudy, nothing too heavy. And for your daily planner, 9 a.m. we're going to see temperatures sunny at about 53 degrees, 12 p.m. 62 degrees, and at 3 p.m. 70 and still sunny. The week ahead. All right, so tomorrow on Tuesday, we're going to see nice light temperatures of about 74, and as we progress and through the week, we see more and more temperature rising up until 80 on Friday. Remember, happy Thanksgiving. It's going to be a little rainy on Thursday, but nothing that we can't solve with a little family fun. All right, so thank you so much. Here you are.
Yes, thank you, Mary. That's our first show. It's very exciting. I wish her the best, and she's going to do great. So looking out to our southeast forecast, it is looking great out there. Southeast temperatures right now 53 in Atlanta, 58 in Montgomery, 64 in New Orleans. So it's pretty crisp out there. And then over our state, of course, much warmer in I-4 quarter and south, 76 in Miami. They just never seem to catch a break. That is the land of perpetual summer, and I'm not too far away from there. My hometown's a little bit right below Tampa, so we're expecting dew point 55, so we're right in that cusp of that really muggy air. But where I'm at, Tallahassee, where we're at, is looking great. 46 degrees dew point, very dry. Montgomery, 35. Jackson, 38, all the way up to Little Rock. And then do note we do have some green popping up in Louisiana and Texas. That is a sign of things to come. Our next system is going to be tracking across the state, and some showers might enter our area. So something to keep an eye out for Thanksgiving plans. But as of right now, it looks like it's going to be okay for everyone. So we have a north wind penetrating down to the area, pretty light, nothing too strong. Currently 3 miles per hour in Tallahassee, 8 by the water, 8 in Atlanta, 7 Montgomery. So you get the picture, light and variable winds. Nothing really too strong. All this wind will do is enforce some dry air and some stable conditions. And that is why we have nothing going on in the southeast. The closest thing you see if you look away at the top, you see some clouds, but that is not in our area. Even in Florida, there might be some showers over the Bahamas and maybe over the Keys. You can never rule out a shower with some of those trade winds and some of that tropical air, but it is looking very dry. And of course, we have a special guest from Texas today too, also looking dry, so it's very exciting. Our water vapor tells the same tale. Extremely stable and nice conditions are in our area. I do want to, okay, let's look at this right here. This orange patch is representing higher temperatures, so you can see all the way to the ground. That's why it's much warmer. You don't have any clouds blocking your area. And then if you head out towards Dallas and Texas, some of these whiter clouds you're seeing, that is actually some of the water vapor and clouds, so you're seeing cooler temperatures, whereas these guys represent drier at the surface. And that's what we are seeing. And like I said, this will continue to stream across that frontal system coming to our play Thursday. So I'll have to keep an eye onto it, of course. Our next future weathercast, fair skies will continue over into Florida with a high pressure looks like to be building into the region. So if you're heading down to Florida, you should be okay. But looking out west, there was a system that came across Texas, maybe bring some severe weather into Oklahoma and Arkansas. So it's something to keep an eye out. Nothing too strong, no really strong tornadic potential, maybe some hail. And of course, we'll have a squall line and some showers and storms forming across the area on Wednesday. So just bring an umbrella out if you're in the southeast. Maybe a risk of some strong winds or some slight hail, but I think it's going to be pretty good. I think you can enjoy your Thanksgiving. So anyways, tonight's forecast, 39 Montgomery, 39 Atlanta, pretty cool and seasonable, and heading a little bit warmer out towards Texas, and of course southern Florida being the warm spots in the lower 60s and upper 50s. And then for tomorrow, similarly, we're going to be very pleasant. Highs in the 80s and of course 70s in our southeast. So now we're going to hand it over to weathercaster Robert for his forecast.
Right, we're going to have a look at the tropics, a season that has been very active for us right now. We've gotten all the way down to Iota, and we're looking maybe another system that could potentially develop in the Atlantic. But right now, we have, of course, a very active season that has produced for us mini storms, in fact, breaking many records here. But right now, for the first time in a very long time, pretty inactive for us at the moment. But like I said, we're watching some systems maybe developing in the future. You can see satellite and radar pretty calm for us right here across most of the Atlantic. No storms we have right now currently in the area. Looking at future Kappa, this is what we're talking about. We have this system right here. This yellow sort of blob we have right here is the system that we're currently watching. This is an area we have marked for potential development of a system. Now, Kappa could be something we call a subtropical system, which of course, is a system that does not quite have fully tropical characteristics. It can form maybe a little bit of colder temperatures than a tropical storm could, but it does have more tropical characteristics than, of course, and the one that is not tropical at all. And as you can see, we have a little bit of convection that we are watching here, but right now, of course, nothing yet, because this storm has not formed yet, so we are not assigning a name yet, but we are watching maybe Kappa. Looking into the next 24 hours, you can see what we're talking about. Watch this system right here. You can see a little bit of circulation starting to come as it goes towards the east. And at the end of this area is where we're particularly watching over the next 24 hours. We could see the system sort of maybe gathering a little bit of circulation. Not enough that I think we'll be able to see a tropical storm, but maybe just enough that we will be able to see a subtropical storm. So this season has been an incredibly active one for us right now. Of course, this is a very good reminder that no matter what time you are at in this season, no matter if it's June, July, August, maybe even up to September, October, November, and even in December, we could always have storms forming. Back in 2005, we did have a storm that formed all the way at the end of December. So, of course, there could always be situations where we have more storms, more powerful storms. Of course, the most powerful storm of this season formed in November, Ada, which had a millibar pressure about 910, maybe going to 915. So, of course, it's always a good reminder to stay prepared no matter what's happening here, always watching the Gulf, even if we have storms that are not exactly as strong as you're quite thinking, maybe not like a subtropical level like we're watching here with maybe potential Kappa. But right now, this storm right here we are currently watching could develop. But again, we're not making any guarantees here. So I'm going to pass things off to the desk for a little more explanation about how record-breaking this season is.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, this season it's more than record-breaking. It's extraordinary, especially for us meteorologists who study these type of things. It's crazy to see an atmosphere produce such systems. So this year, we're going to tell you a couple of stats that we've seen. So we've had 12 storms of landfall over this past year. The record was 9 So that is absolutely crazy to have 12 named storms. Even if it's a tropical storm, which a couple of them were, they can still be damaging for the economy and sort of for some minor flooding damage. And then, of course, as you get to hurricanes, into major hurricanes that hit Louisiana, that's really where you start to see the devastation start to pile up. Another pretty crazy stat is 10 storms have rapidly intensified this year. So they've gone extreme strengthening in a very short amount of time. And unfortunately, a lot of them have been right before landfall, especially in Nicaragua. There are 2 storms they've seen this past month and into Halloween. So that's definitely not the stat you want to see. Rapid intensification is the worst case scenario in a hurricane. The public doesn't have enough time to prepare for all the hazards such as wind and storm surge. But I think our National Hurricane Center just tried to do a good job, and I think they've relayed the message of any storms could strengthen for landfall. And now for the most relevant data portion of it. So this in November has been record-breaking. There is definitely not supposed to be this many storms after the month of October. We've had 20 named storm days, and this is the most since the year 1932, and it's tied for the highest. And granted, we get any storms that we're watching in the Atlantic, as we saw earlier, we could have the record for the most named storm days in November, 20 of those. So most of the month, we've had a storm that we've been watching, or it's been named in the Atlantic. So that's not something you want to see. I always thought 2005 would be untouched. 2005 was such a record-breaking season, and this year it proved 2020 said, I could do anything better than you can. There is a little caveat that 2005 did have more accumulated cyclone energy. The storms were a little bit stronger, but this year had so many more named storms, and with the time it's in, definitely had a lot more impact. So now that the test is wrapped up, we're going to hand it off to our wall with Mary.
Thank you so much, Hayden. Looking at our national map, we can see a lot of cold temperatures up on the northern side of the nation, with warmer temperatures down in the south as expected. New Orleans is seeing 64 degrees, Tallahassee at 65, as said before. As we continue looking at the dew points nationally, we see very low dew points up in the north, again, as expected. And in the south, we see this green area indicating just some hot, warm, muggy weather. The satellite radar doesn't show quite a lot. There is a pretty heavy ice storm going on in the St. Louis area, heavy rain as well. Big clouds sweeping over the Midwest and desert areas. And on the East Coast, we also see some clouds in this area. All right, so we have active alerts in the purple and pink around the sides of the nation. And as we zoom into the northeast area, we see a pretty middle-sized storm right up there in the Halifax-Boston area. Light rain here and there. As we go into the Iowa, they are having a pretty large-sized ice storm that's going to be heading up into Wisconsin in the next couple days. And we have the rainstorm going across St. Louis. Heavy, very heavy rain there. As we go to the southwest, we see this very arid area, lots of wind and clouds coming through, but not a lot of rain. We're still seeing a lot of drought in these areas. The drought monitor, just as we were speaking of, very, very arid. No signs of relief. It's very hot and absolutely dry. High saturations of red and dark red. It's very arid. Looking at the entire national map again, tonight's forecast is going to be very low up in the northern hemisphere and very moderate in the south. Tomorrow's forecast is going to keep along with these trends for weather. Up in Minnesota, we see temperatures of about 38 and raining. Moving down to the Memphis, we see 64, and all the way to New Orleans at 77. Thank you so much. Handing it off to Hayden.
Yes, thank you. It's a crazy national forecast. I know we're starting to get to the cold time of the year, so it's exciting to see some of the snowfall potential. Of course, we won't get any snow. You never know, but we'll get some cooler air. Anyways, that sun is now set over Doak Campbell Stadium. That twilight hue is in town, and reminds me of the orange. I'm not a big fan of orange right now, especially after Clemson's behavior. But currently 65 degrees, partly cloudy, a light north wind, 3 miles per hour. Satellite radar, nothing much is popping up at all. Zooming in our area, very clear. The exception being some showers. If you have any boating interest, maybe some choppy waters and some stable air, just dominating the air mass, nothing much to see on our radar. Our winds, you can see the north wind coming into the area, a light northeast, 5 miles per hour Donaldsonville, 6 in Quincy. And there's some cooler air in our region, 65 Tallahassee, 57 Quincy, 58 Bainbridge, and Thomasville, 59. So cooler air is for sure in our region, very dry conditions, some dew points, and so we'll have to keep an eye on it. 46 right now in Tallahassee, 50, 49. So if you want to reminisce with me about this summer, I know July, August, you're like, is this dew point of 80 or 78 ever going to leave us? And it has. I know it always wasn't the coolest fall, but we have reached our pinnacle, and these conditions are feeling quite nice. The exception being, if you head a little bit further south into the state, there are some mild conditions and some muggier conditions as the front has come through our area. We are experiencing high pressure, dry air, and wonderful dew points. And like I said, those temperatures are dropping off pretty quickly. We'll expect to be around 49 degrees tonight. You see all this cool airing. We'll get some radiational cooling. And what that is, all this heat is going to leave the atmosphere. It's going to get out of those clouds, and we're going to cool off. It's going to be a nice evening. Bring a jacket, take your dog for a walk. It's going to be a nice evening. Our future cast, notice there are some clouds going to come in through the area. Maybe a shower, especially head east of I-75. But for the most part, it is going to be it's going to be nice. Temperature will be in the mid-70s. Starting to warm up, and it will be clear. And then tomorrow's forecast, if you're wrapping up school on Tuesday, if you're out on campus, or if you're at just doing anything outside, it's going to be nice, 62 degrees, 12 p.m., lots of sun, as you can see, warming up to 70 by 3 p.m. So definitely, if you want to head out to a fountain, the weather is warm enough to do it. If you want to grab a warm Starbucks coffee and bundle up, it's also a temperature where you could get away with this. So it's kind of whatever you want to make of the day. It's that weather where some people think it's cool, some people think it's warm, especially if you're not from the state of Florida. But overall, I can promise you everyone's going to like the day. Our lows start to warm up heading into Wednesday, Thursday, ahead of our Turkey Day. You notice all those turkeys, they look a little concerned. I'm sure 57 going into after that low storm passes. And then Florida State hosts Virginia, Saturday night football, 8 o'clock on the ACC network. That should be a fun one. We'll have to watch out for a chance of some showers, 40%. And Sunday looks to be a little bit more of a significant chance of rain and starting to cool off. And notice that 65 degrees and low of 47. So definitely going to have to start worrying about those conditions. But anyways, we'll hand over to Robert.
Thank you for that look at our local. Yeah, I would admit those turkeys are just looking a tad bit concerning. Right now, our special report is the coronavirus pandemic. You can see we are looking here at the coronavirus, which is right now, we have headlines for Leon County, 703 new cases last week, and Florida, 6,080 new cases yesterday. So you can see we're looking at quite a bit of cases here, but this is how it is in the United States right now. We are having quite a bit of case activity. And we are going to talk about how this also interfaces with the weather too, because of course, we are looking at your forecasts for how you're going to go home. But see, the thing is here, of course, we do have quite a few cases here. Like I was saying, 703 new cases last week, 6,080 yesterday. In the United States, 141,034 yesterday. Now, I remember a time when we didn't have even over 100,000, but this has become a little normal for us now. We are, of course, looking at be safe if you travel. This is the thing that we're talking about, which I was talking about with the weather. We are telling you, of course, in tonight's forecast, we have nice conditions around the nation. It seems like a perfect opportunity for us all to go around, drive about, get on airplanes, go everywhere. But if you don't really have a need to go places, if you have a home in Florida, if you live here, if you are from FSU, we suggest that you try and stay home as much as possible. Because, of course, spreading COVID could be dangerous to some populations. Maybe it isn't dangerous to you, but it could be dangerous to maybe your grandma, your granddad, your grandparents, some people that are in extreme danger for coronavirus. So make sure if you do travel, you wear a mask and get tested. Because if you do that, then you help to reduce the spread. If you know you have it, then stay home or stay isolated from any people that you would say are potentially at risk for getting severe coronavirus. But make sure you take all the precautions that you can if you are going to go anywhere. But we do have some good news. It's not all downer. We have some vaccines that may look promising tonight over the next few months, of course. So we're going to have to see how they are. But in general, this is a coronavirus look right now. Make sure you are staying safe and healthy. Now I'm going to pass things off to Mary with a look at our Florida conditions.
All right, thank you so much, Robert. As we look at the entirety of Florida, we see some mid-temperatures going from 60 up in the North Florida region, all the way up into some mid-70s down in South Florida. It's a really wide range, but if you live in Florida, you understand this. At the satellite radar, we see, again, absolutely clear, just barely a little bit of speckling of rain off the East Coast, but nothing on top of the Florida map. As we zoom into Miami, clear skies, maybe a little rain coming from the east, but not even a cloud on the map. As we look at the forecasted temperatures for the next coming days, on Tuesday, we are going to be seeing highs of 81 degrees. Wednesday, 81 as well. Thursday, 82, and 0% chance of rain. Moving up to Tampa, we see 82 degrees, 84, and 82 again on the Tuesday through Wednesday. Clear skies, 10% chance of rain in the next 3 days. Moving to Orlando, 78 degrees on Tuesday, 81 on Wednesday, and 82 on Thursday, slowly progressing through the week. Mild clouds and a little tiny % chance of rain. As we move up to Jacksonville, oh, just kidding, we're gonna do the satellite. So we see, again, clear skies, not a lot going on, beautiful time to go out and enjoy the weather. Now that we're at Jacksonville, we can see clear skies again. Great time to go outside, enjoy this fall weather we're experiencing, and have a great holiday weekend. The Jacksonville temperatures are going to be ranging from about 73 on Tuesday, moving up to 78 by the end of the week on Thursday. Higher chances of rain up here. As we scoot over the state into Pensacola, we see temperatures of 73 degrees on Tuesday, 78 on Wednesday, and 78 as well on Thursday. Looking at the satellite, clear skies here as well. Not a lot of weather to talk about, but enjoy this weather while you can. We don't know when it'll rain again. Tomorrow's forecast, we see Tallahassee at 75, Tampa at 82, and Orlando at 78, all mid-range temperatures. Good fall in Florida. All right, signing off and heading it over.
All right, thank you for that look at our Florida forecast, Mary. Right now you can see a look at DROUGHT Campbell Stadium. It is a little bit darker than it was earlier, so we don't have this as beautiful a sunset as earlier, but of course, always the most beautiful stadium. Can't really say anything better than that. Right now, our look at our current conditions, it is 65 degrees and partly cloudy. Winds coming from the north at about 3 miles per hour, so pretty similar to at the beginning of the broadcast. Looking at the satellite and radar, you can see for most of the southeast, if you're going from New Orleans, like I am going to be driving to tomorrow, over to South Carolina and Florida, it's pretty clear for most of us. We have a few storms in the Gulf, just a few small pop-up storms. And then, of course, as we go towards the Atlantic, we see a few more showers and storms for you guys, maybe closer to the Space Coast in South Florida. Temperatures for you guys here, it's going to be 58 degrees in Bainbridge, 55 in Thomasville, 57 in Valdosta, and 65 here in Tallahassee. So what can you say? It's a pretty nice night for us here. Make sure you, I don't know, if you're still here in Tallahassee, of course, I know a lot of us are starting to leave, but maybe take one last walk about Landis Green, reminisce for this great semester we've had, no problems at all. But it is a beautiful campus tonight, so make sure you maybe get that walk in, just see how nice it is tonight, because it is not as muggy as it was earlier in the week. Looking at the dew points, what I'm talking about with all this mugginess, you can see 41 in Bainbridge, absolutely beautiful dew points right now, not muggy at all. 46 in Tallahassee, 49 in Apalachicola. You can see as we go down towards the southeast a little bit, a few wetter conditions down here, but of course that is how it is in Florida. At this time of the season, we have this drier panhandle and this wetter sort of South Florida and Central Florida kind of area. But of course, we get to escape from that mugginess, 46 Tallahassee. Right now, wind speed and direction, you can see that it is going to be pretty calm for most of us. 7 in Apalachicola, 3 in Tallahassee, 3 in Valdosta. And next 24 hours is going to be pretty nice and cool for us here, and also not a lot, maybe a few clouds sort of moving in from the east for us. Day planner forecast, you can see 9 a.m., lots of sun, 53 degrees going towards 70, so it's going to be a pretty nice day for most of us here. Not a lot to talk about though, but it is going to be absolutely beautiful. So if you do want to take a walk, go outside, of course, take advantage of that while we have it. Looking at the week ahead, you can see great conditions for us as we go into Thanksgiving. Going to be a high of 80 on Friday, so a little bit warmer for us here. Going to cool down quite a lot as we go into Monday and get quite a few showers and storms. Going to be 65 degrees, nice and cool lows from 50s to the 60s. So absolutely beautiful conditions here in Tallahassee to end the fall semester. So now I'm going to pass things off to Hayden for our closing.
Yeah, for sure. So it's going to be a nice evening. It'll be in the 49s for the temperatures, the lower 50s. And I know this is a big weather forecast because a lot of our FSU is closing Tuesday, I believe. So a lot of kids are leaving their dorms. They want to know what the weather is. Parents are coming to pick up their kids. So the message is it's going to be nice. We do not anticipate any rain until possibly Thursday. So if you're packing up and you're leaving for home, avoiding winter break here, you won't have any problems. The only thing I can recommend in the morning is bring a jacket. It might be a little chilly, of course, especially for those South Floridians and from Miami. You might start to feel the cold a little bit. But it's going to be nice conditions. And then as we head into our holiday, it looks to be a great Thanksgiving. There might be a couple of showers in our area, but I know it'll be very manageable. Hopefully the clouds bring some nice conditions, and I think everyone's going to have a great Thanksgiving. The weekend, I know a lot of people are thinking about football, college football especially. FSU has a game against Virginia Saturday night at Doak Campbell Stadium, primetime. It should be very fun. Do bring a poncho possibly though, or umbrella, because it looks like there will be some rain coming into the area. So definitely keep in, we want to be alert. Seminole fans know all too well, the rain always seems to come into our area. And yeah, hopefully a lot of winds come into the region, into our area. The skies should be pretty good. So if you're looking for Black Friday shopping too, hopefully the weather is not important because a lot of it will be done online. And so you don't have to worry about that, which is a nice thing about 2020, at least on the bright side. And then coming back, looking to the long-range patterns, some cooler air coming to the region. So follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We all are on social media. Send us your pictures. Send us your Thanksgiving, what you're cooking. Send us a picture of your dogs. If the weather's outside, of course. Here at FSU Weather, we're a big fan of everything. We want to know how everyone's doing. And we want to make sure everyone's keeping safe for the community for sure. So yeah, this is student meteorologist Hayden Wilder. It's been awesome teaching the weather to you guys. Have a great day.